And we're back, taking over for Nightfire here on Final Assault VRML 1. We have everyone in the lobby, and we are just getting ready to start.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's do it.
Yes. Now this is a game I'm very happy to cast.
I'm sorry. Why is Heathen playing Nichols? This is a ground map for sure. Where's Wolf? Where's Wolf?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't like this map for Nichols, for sure. That's why I kind of cringed when I saw the
What is
map.
Sporks doing?
I love Spork's little dance there.
So, just to be clear, Sporks has secured second place. The final standings are Beastrick with 5 wins, Sporks currently with 4, and Heathen with 2. No.
Alright.
Yes. I don't know. Math is
Yeah.
hard. All I
I
know
think something like that.
is that I'm right and Beastrick is in first place.
So here's Heathen getting some early ground control. Very important to do as Nichols because Nichols relies so heavily on getting crate drops. But that kind of sucks when a giant dive bomber comes out and takes your artillery away. That's a pretty rough. Having a
RKO
single
out of
plane.
nowhere.
Yeah, having a single fighter or two like Heathen finally has out would have been nice to defend that ground unit he so desperately needs in this early game. So this map sucks as Nichols for one reason I'm sure we're gonna see very soon, at least eventually, is on these smaller maps, especially when both players are most likely gonna start making fighter screens, tons of fighters on both sides. You're gonna start seeing fighters kind of stray away from their screens and run into the enemy base that's so nearby their screen and get killed by base AA. And it happens a lot more than usual on these smaller maps, which makes it really annoying. Not only that is, of course, if you like for some reason, I don't know, forget to look at a lane, it's a lot faster for these ground units to get across the map. And usually also as well, it's bad for Nichols because a lot of ground focus units will be able to get across the map before you can get a P-38 out. So there's a lot of reasons why I don't like Nichols on this map, but dude, that's probably why we see Heathen focusing so heavily on ground units despite it being so expensive for him to actually send them out like this.
Yeah, I don't really get that pick. I mean, I could understand a Beaumont or a Wolf.
But it's definitely harder. But there is also a benefit as well. I guess you can. Let me try to be more optimistic on this map as Nichols. He has a AA in the middle of the map, and it's very easy to get AA. Like if you lose your AA, which you're gonna need for any fighter screen that Sporks might come out, it'll be very quick to get that AA unit in the middle. But at the same time, that artillery that's barely outside his base can also almost shoot that AA pretty easily. So it's kind of a difficult situation. As well, I think Nichols goes very well with the U.S. artillery barrage. I think it's actually imperative to use the artillery barrage on a base when you have your push going in. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to push very well. And due to the fact that the bases on this map are one of the smallest bases, you're more likely to hit more units with your artillery barrage. So, yeah, we'll see.
Does Nichols have 5 tiers?
No, she is currently missing a unit.
Okay.
So she does, yeah, that's just a visual thing, which makes Nichols pretty bad.
So the tier 4 is the P-38.
Yeah, they are. So we're gonna see some 4 troop trucks from Sporks' side on that top lane, or I should say bottom lane from the observer view, and on the Heathen side we have 2 in the opposite lane. Spork's already going to get those tank destroyers down that lane. He just needs to put one right on that X if he wants to sort of pot shot those towers for free until that P38, which it's finally coming out. Not going to be able to do much because of the fighter screen that Spork has already built. I mean, that P38 is going to not do much for a while. He kind of needs more fighters or AA to take out the screen before that P38 is going to do anything.
Man, I just saw the P38 come out. Are we that desynced?
I think I have a lot of desync, and I think there's a lot of desync between us.
Wow.
And I think I'm desynced with the actual game, to be honest. So I'm looking at your screen now at this point. I'm gonna look at your screen and cast.
Don't look at my screen. No screen peeking? No.
So let's see. Spork still got his 5 fighters. He then has 0. Lost his P38 due to the fighter screen. Really, it's really hard to be a Nichols when there's a enemy fighter screen. You have no fighters or AA to take it out easily. We'll probably see a lot of maneuverability from these fighters to kind of bait them into the ground AA.
He's also not using his troop plane at all. I would have thought that he would be spamming those so that he could get more infantry on the ground. Basically, he's playing Nichols like a tank division.
Yeah, and it sucks, but the way Nichols currently is, I think you kind of have to play that sometimes, especially on a map like this. Troop planes on this map. No, I don't think troop planes are just good in general right now. Troop trucks are kind of better value over time, especially when you are facing the fighter screen, as I said before. But actually, no, I might take that back. Troop trucks on this map are actually pretty bad because of the nukes that might happen, and the tank destroyers will be able to, once they get in lane close enough, they will be easily able to snipe at these troop trucks that are sitting in the base. There's not many good places for the troop trucks to kind of hide from these long-range tank destroyers. This is really just a bad map for Nichols against Gallon. I really hate it. Like, it kind of makes me cringe.
So we were discussing in the Discord a second ago, the troop planes actually drop higher tier infantry, correct?
They do. Like, they have a little bit of health. They do a tiny bit more damage, but the problem with the troop plane is their cost. It costs $20 to build one. And over time, like, yeah, they'll be able to survive a single fire strafe. But in my opinion, I think it's better just to build a lot of troop trucks that are cheaper. They're $7 each. You can build like 3 troop trucks that do much better for pushing than a single troop plane at $20 will. And if you play Nichols the way I do, which is a pretty disgusting way to play it, you kind of just don't worry about that fighter strafe that your enemy is going to use to stop any normal infantry from getting in your base.
Heathen is not getting any value out of these P38s. He keeps trying to take down tank destroyers with them, but they just keep going down to these fighter screens.
Yeah, that's why I really I mean, yeah, P38 is strong right now. It's always been pretty strong against ground units. A lot of newer players think it's OP, and it's definitely strong, but that's because Nichols really doesn't have anything else that she can use. It's like
destroy your base shots.
Yep, so this is probably the game. I don't really I'm not sure what Heathen could do to get out of this mess.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, as long as Sporks has a fire screen, that is pretty much the main weakness of Nichols. Any player has a fire screen and you don't, as Nichols, you're not gonna do anything. You're gonna pay a lot of money, $8 per tank compared to Sporks' $7 per tank, and you're just not. You can't come back. You really can't. It's just so hard. That's why I always do tell people Nichols is just kind of a bad character, and they think I'm lying because I play Nichols so much, but no, she's actually pretty garbage.
Yeah, I know I've tried playing her once or twice, and she seems very reactionary, and like you said, without the fighter screen, her good units can't even do any work. So
yeah, I mean, she just needs the P38 so much, and when you don't have any, you're just useless. You're completely useless. There's nothing you can do. That's pretty much it. It's just and people try to counter P38 with ground AA, and that's the biggest mistake. They just need to focus planes. Like, even if you don't have a fire screen, if you have if you see a P38 coming, or there's a P38 in a fire screen on Nichols, you can just send a couple fighters to suicide into the P38, and you're gonna wreck that Nichols player. Nickels is mostly about, if you want to play Nickels well, you gotta literally play it a different way than what you think. I think, and you gotta like really learn how to use your units super cost effectively, because you can't build troops up. You can't, like most players, most ground units, you kind of just like you build these huge armies. But I don't think you can do that with Nickels. I think you need to use your money super well and time everything perfectly, like with the U.S. Artillery barrages and timing your P-38 runs and all that stupid stuff.
Would you say that Ritter is a better era character?
I personally think Ritter is better. I just don't play enough Ritter, but I think Ritter just generally has a better kit. Except for the tier 4. Ritter's like the opposite of Nichols, honestly, as an air division, because with Nichols you want to rush tier 4 as Nichols, but with Ritter you don't want to even upgrade. Usually, you just kind of want to upgrade to like the tier, the next tier.
What, to
And
get your
then
henschels?
yeah, once you get I mean, honestly, I see a lot of the best Ritter players. They don't even upgrade at all. They'll just keep their henschels and play, because the henschels you start the game with
Oh, you do?
currently. Yeah, so well, I see a lot of players that are really good with Ritter not even upgrade to the tier where they get AA and the half tracks. So it's like the opposite of Nichols. So I don't know. I think Ritter's in a better place because once you learn how to use that character, I think Ritter is very good compared to Nichols. But so it looks like Sporks is gonna end the game with V2s.
Take a look at Heathen's flag here. It definitely shows that he's an air player.
Yeah, that's
pretty
that's
awesome.
the perfect Heathen flag.
The V2's gonna end it, isn't it?
Yep, that should do it right there.
Oh.
Yep. So, like I said, that was just a tough map for Heathen. It's always hard to play Nichols on that map, and good job to Sporks. Sporks definitely knew what he was doing on that map, and good job to both players. It was a good day. Good day of games.
11-minute round. Kindly tell me what our next map is.
I think that's it. Right?
We're
Yeah,
still
that
on
was,
two. That was map 2?
that was map 2. Yeah.
That was map 2. We're done! Yeah! We're done for the day.
We're done for real this time.
All right, that's it. So we will be back next week for the semifinals.
Yeah.
And then
That'll
the
be
finals.
crazy.
So make sure to follow Final Assault VRML 1 and 2. Hit that follow button so you get the notifications. Apparently I haven't done it, so I'm going to hit that notification thing right now. And then you'll know when we're live. Follow us on Twitter. Get in the Discord. Join the league. The season's over for this season, but we're going to start the next one up hopefully soon. We've got a fancy new rebrand coming for all the OBS stuff, so I look forward to that as well. But yeah, thanks for having back in here, Bradley, and getting this second one done.
No problem. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Let's see. I think the scores are in, so let's get a little final look at the scoreboard. Round robin B. Yeah, B Strickland's in first with 5 points. Sporks with 4, and Heathen with 2. So B Strick and Sporks are moving on to the semifinals. And I forget who moved on yesterday. Is it you? No, it's Manello.
Manello and Naoko.
All right, so look forward to those 4 players playing next weekend, and we will see you later.